Welcome to Ask the Professor. I'm your host, Professor Ben, and we get together live every Wednesday right now at 11:45 Eastern, and we talk about all things business, all things influence. Sometimes we talk about professional selling. Sometimes we talk about all the challenges that leaders have, and maybe also how they all connect. So joining us today is our producer, Ari Justice. Thank you so much for bringing it all together like you always do. Let's go make another great live show. You ready?
Oh, of course, I'm always ready.
Heck yeah. Let's do
So,
that.
I'm so happy to be here. We're going to talk about one of my favorite tools that we use here at Benchmark Training with our clients. Super excited to talk about this.
Yes, because we're continuing our conversation on DISC. So whenever DISC assessment is the topic, I know you're always here. So it's pretty exciting. And really, any of those types of assessments, they're so powerful. They can have such a positive impact on the way that teams and even families and friends work together and understand each other. All too often, we hear people say things like, yes, I've taken this assessment, but I don't remember what my style is, or I never really knew how to use it. And we're going to change that in these DISC conversations. We're going to get into the weeds so you can learn how to apply all this great information to your day to day. That's the goal. Does that sound good, Ari?
Oh, it sounds so good. I'm excited about today's topic.
Yeah, heck yeah. Okay, so there's a lot to understand about each team person. So we're gonna, as we go through this, maybe let's do like an overview. I think you put together a cheat sheet for us, didn't you? Where is that? There it is, coming up. You put
Um,
that. Yeah, here we go. Okay, good. So walk us through a couple of these, if you would, for those that are not familiar with DISC assessment or just communication styles in general. How can we identify, or how do we know who we're talking to?
yeah, so I'm going to start off on the left side. So we have our C styles. Those are the people that are very data driven, who are very much perfectionist and analytical. So a cheat sheet for communicating with them is to show them the data. That's what they love to see. Meanwhile, on the bottom side, it's completely the opposite, not really the data person. They want to see that you care, that
Mm.
you care about their feelings, you're able to provide some support, and in return they're going to provide some stability to you as well.
You know what? Those are good cheat codes to know like who we're working with and how we need to adapt in order to better resonate with them. So I'm going to jump in here on this bright red one. Be brief, be bright, and be gone. The D style of the DISC assessment. And I usually don't get very many smiles or laughs from the D style people in our training groups, except for when I say that. They're like, their face lights up with this big smile. Like, yes, can we all just be brief, be bright, and be gone? The world would be a better place. It's something that really resonates with those D styles. And then the I style here, involve me. How am I part of whatever it is that's going on? If I'm part of it as an I style, then I'm in. Just give me a chance to be in that spotlight. And we need to remember these little cheat codes here so that we can resonate with everybody on our team and realize that we have to adapt to each person.
For
Super
sure.
helpful. And then, so as we're talking about accountability, so how does our communication style, our DISC style, impact the way that we hold ourselves accountable, impact the way that maybe we hold others accountable, whether it's a boss holding their team accountable or maybe peer-to-peer accountability? It's going to show up a little bit different for each of the styles. And that's something
Yeah.
that's important for us to remember as leaders. But yeah, jump in, Ari.
Yeah, I wanted to share one of our polls that we did on our LinkedIn. It's an informal poll, and we love hearing back from you guys and getting involved with the audience. So we did a poll a while back, and it's what's easier? Is it holding yourself accountable or holding others accountable? And most people say, a majority, a lot of people say, holding themselves as accountable is way easier than holding others accountable. And why is that? What do you?
Yeah, this is pretty interesting when you look at this, and there's some pretty logical answers to this as to why. One of the first things that comes up is self-agency. And so self-agency is basically like, how much do we care about our progress, our gains as an individual? And then we want to compare that to team agency. How much do we care about the gains the growth and development of our team or the winning of our team. So this when you look at this, it's kind of this interesting twist here is most people are going to fall on the side of not wanting, believe it or not wanting to look out for themselves. Now, there's definitely exceptions to that. But when you look at a snapshot of a large group of people, there are some specific barriers that hold us away from wanting to be our best self agent, okay, and accomplishing the most that we can. And there's some internal barriers, things like just having a passive mindset or maybe just anxiety in specific situations. And then there's external barriers like those social pressures that are around us, or even just like modern distractions where I'm more glued to scrolling or glued to my phone or to something that's going on externally than I am looking out for number one, looking for myself. So you think about the self agency twist here is that you see people not comfortable helping others improve, helping others gain through accountability. And that's something that we need to better understand as leaders. We need to be committed to team agency, to our team accomplish more, to see those wins, and feeling comfortable with maybe being uncomfortable and holding our team accountable so that they can recognize those wins. It's an important part of being a leader.
For
So
sure.
maybe what we do, Ari, is let's dig into what it looks like how do different disc styles hold themselves accountable? If I'm a D style or a DC style, how do I hold myself accountable? And I'll let you jump in. So choose one or two of these and walk us through like accountability, what accountability looks like for this specific style.
Yeah, so I'll do the opposite. So we start off with the D and the I styles. So the D styles get started right away. That's how they hold themselves accountable. And while D styles, they're marching along, making some progress, getting some wins, they could be in their own world sometimes. So remember, as a D style, yes, you're moving forward, you're moving fast, but remember that there's feedback and some sort of self awareness when it comes to those around you. You may be a little, I don't want to say bulldozing some ideas, but you could be a little direct. You could just keep on going, keep on getting those wins, which is great. But when it comes to a team, that can be a little bit of a reduce motivations for everyone else. And also acknowledge the mistakes that you have. Yes, you had a lot of wins, but what were the mistakes that took you to get there? That's totally okay, and that's part of success. For the I styles, they get started by rallying the troops, getting excited, getting the team some buy-in to complete the task. So yes, iStyles, they are very charismatic and inspirational. But when they find a shiny new object, it's very easy to get distracted and go for that shiny object. So to prevent you from getting off track, keep yourself accountable by developing those follow through habits and like set specific time bound commitments. That way you're not getting off the rails.
Oh man, so you painted some really good pictures here. So let's dig in even further. Again, we're staying in the weeds here so that our audience can apply what they are learning about this to their team right now. So if I'm a C style, if I'm a blue C style manager, and I'm working with a D style team member, we've got a goal, we've got something that a project we're working on, and I'm going to notice that the D style person has already started. We're not even like done talking about the C style details and rules and how we're going to accomplish this and the analytics and the plan. The D style is already moving. And as a C style, that might rub me the wrong way. Don't they want to be accurate? Don't they want to follow the procedures? Really, what I have to understand is that D style is being accountable. Getting started, doing it right means doing it now. That's their mindset. That's how they want to get going. So if I'm working with the D style and I know that they're going to want to move quick, instead of just holding them back, let them know, hey, we're going to need your power. We're going to need your speed. Let's make sure that we get some of these details under wraps before you say go. Now, having that conversation can be very enlightening for both sides.
Yeah, and
Really
that's
important.
where that feedback and self-awareness for the D styles come into play. Like, oh, I am so sorry. I wanted to get started. I was really excited. But you're right. Let us like get the analytics, get the data, and make sure we're doing it fast and we're doing it right.
Yes. And then that I style, right? So a C style manager with that I style, you've got the I style going. The way that they get started is by bringing the group together, rallying the group. So a C style is like, okay, we're done with the instructions. Let's all get moving. And the I style is laughing, joking, having good conversations with the rest of the team. We're thinking, why are they doing that instead of getting started? That is them getting started, right? Knowing that the spirit of the team is what's going to make us successful at the end of this project. So let's get them rallied up, get them ready to go. And the C style scratching his or her head going, what is going on here? So understanding these philosophies or these perspectives of each of the styles can really help. Let's talk a little bit about S styles, and you're the S style expert. So what should we expect from S styles as they're holding themselves accountable?
Yeah. So personally, I set little micro goals, and I know that's one of our favorite things that we do here, and that's what we tell our clients is to set those micro goals because you have those little wins that keep you motivated and keep moving forward. Also, S styles love collaboration, but they also like some of their individual working time. So creating accountability partnerships. It can be a formal accountability where you're reporting back to your supervisor and saying, hey, I hit this milestone, or an informal accountability where you're going over to a peer and celebrate that exciting win of those micro goals.
Yeah, absolutely. So great picture here of what we need to do in order to best adapt to each of the communication styles that are on our team. So what about maybe holding other people accountable? So, as a leader, I know how my different styles hold themselves accountable. How are they going to work group as they're holding each other accountable? What's your take on pick one of those and let's dive into it just a little bit and get in those weeds.
Yeah, I really love this slide because, accountability looks different in each organizational culture. And some people
Yeah.
don't know what to do, especially if the accountability, like what it looks like, isn't defined, which is something that we do in one of our development programs, right, Ben?
Yeah, absolutely. Because you have to. You got to be able to define that and make sense of it.
For sure. So, okay, let's go back into disc. I'm going to do the top. So, the C styles, how they hold themselves accountable. They hold others accountable the way they hold themselves accountable, and it's by the rule book. Everything
Yes.
in the rule book is how you're supposed to meet it. And, not everyone is going to follow the rule book. And that's okay. And it's like, they're so focused on perfectionism, and it's hard for a lot of others to achieve, and maybe time wise perfectionism, there's not enough time. So just be a little bit more flexible and establish like a clear criteria of what you want out of that person. And for the D style, like they like to
Yes.
go quick, they like to go fast. So their way of holding people accountable is efficiency and expecting those quick wins. So when you're holding other people accountable, remember, like, you want to be direct and you want to be assertive, just take a step back because our S and I styles probably are going to feel a little uncomfortable about that. So kind of just tone it down just a bit. Provide a little bit
Yeah.
of support with that.
Especially just being understanding. So I'm going to go diagonal and go to the green or the S style because the D style is looking at everybody going, why haven't you started already?
Mhm.
Right. It's right at the onset of go. The S styles are saying, whoa, what about the stability of the group? Have we checked in with everybody to make sure to see how they're feeling about this project and about this launch? And the D style is going, hey, we don't have time for that. We got to get moving, right? And the C style is going, well, we got all the rules. We know we've done the analytics, so we know what we need. And the S style is saying, what about the people? What about the harmony within the group that's going to keep us on path? We need that, right? You could see how the superpowers of each of these styles is so necessary in a team. Really, really important part of it. Again, the I style is more of that. Let's stay together. What is the social side of this? Where's the energy of what we're trying to do? And that's going to have a big impact on how well the team can sustain the challenges that are inevitable of that project, even though the D style is saying, hey, let's get moving, and the C style is saying, let's make sure we follow the rules.
Yeah, and like some people think one style is better than the other. No style is better than the other. We all need each of these superpowers to accomplish what we want out of things.
Let's check this out over here. This is this is pretty on point here. Iris Andy. So for the blue, the sake of the rules, like she's saying, hey, why do we need all these, right? Why do we need all these different styles? The sake of the rules, the process, the procedures, the best practices, SOPs. You're going to hear that from the C styles or the blues for sure. The red is let's get moving. What did we accomplish today? What are we going to accomplish in the next 10 minutes? So we got to see that progress. Yellow, for the sake of influence, right? Getting the energy and the spirit. I always think of team spirit with yellows, getting the team to rally around what the goal is and the purpose is. And then the green is that commitment. And the commitment from a human side is what I'll probably add to that is how are we maintaining the harmony of the team as we're moving forward.
I love that, Iris. That is an easy cheat sheet for how these styles see accountability.
Absolutely. So as a leader, right, we know from our informal survey, from more extensive research that's been done by third parties, that we tend to lean on accountability as something that I'm uncomfortable holding others accountable. In fact, I'd rather make myself do it. When we do that, we disengage our teams. We need our team members to feel that ownership, to feel the excitement of the win and the challenges ahead. And that comes through accountability and knowing their preferred way to be held accountable, their preferred way to hold them accountable is how we can build that momentum within our team. And again, look for that ownership. Look for the team that's thinking at a higher level, at a way that they are going to start bringing solutions to you because of that ownership and that accountability that you've created in your culture. Utilize the information you have on DISC. So if you've done Myers-Briggs, you've done DISC with your team, utilize that information as a way to better connect, to better understand each other's perspective. And, right, for the topic of today, is to be able to hold each other accountable in a positive way, going to bring the most wins that we can for that team. Super important. And again, as always, we fly through this time together. So thank you guys for hanging tight and tuning in as you have. Of course, you can watch this recording. And of course, you can join us live again next Wednesday, 11:45 Eastern. Bring your questions to the show so that we can make sure we address them. And you might even change the whole theme of the show. Why not? Just come on in and ask. Thank you guys. Have a great rest of the week, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.